Welcome to Scroll vs. Screen. Audible sigh.
Audible sigh all the time.
Welcome. This is for episode 1 of Scroll vs. Screen. My name is Steve, and this is Ty.
What's up? This is not even episode 1. This is episode 0 today.
Session 0.
Session 0. Just kind of explaining what we're up to. We're going to be releasing this one around the same time that we release our first episode, which will be recorded in like half an hour.
But you don't know that.
So anyways, we're going to be talking what we're up to, and then we're also, I guess I'll just announce, we're going to be doing Ready Player One for our first episode.
Exciting.
Woo! It's released a week from today of our recording time. I don't know.
Today
might be like a day before you guys actually even get to see it.
Yeah.
So Scroll vs. Screen. What are we about, dude?
Well, we're going to be doing a lot of comparing and contrasting about movie adaptations of other types of media, i.e. books, audiobooks, video games, comic books, manga, anime, or all sorts of stuff that the counterpart to that. So, for an example, the Harry Potter books, they were really, amazingly huge.
Quite fantastic.
Yes, quite fantastic. Books. And then the movies came out. So what we would be doing
primarily
is
it's book to movie, and we're just saying a lot of things count as a book in our eyes.
Pretty much.
So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be comparing and contrasting. We've seen a lot of podcasts that they pointedly try to only evaluate just the movies or just the media that they watch down there, trying not to be like, well, in the book this happened. And
but we want to go down that road. We want to go down that road.
Let's purposely tackle that beast. Because not many people do.
No. So
we're going to be doing that. Beyond just the simple Scroll versus Screen side of things, we're also going to be doing a couple other things. Video game playthroughs or reviews of initial reaction to games or trailers. So
as well as coming right out of the theater itself, our drive back home.
Oh yeah, that's going to be another section, is our initial reactions to the movie. We'll throw our camera right up in my car or his car and record our gushing as we leave the theater. Gush.
Also, our second viewing of the movie. So,
we're gonna a lot of these movies we're gonna purposely be seeing it a second time, possibly a third time, just to try to catch more of the subtle things going on, things you might not have noticed. So we're going to be doing episodes specifically about, the things that we noticed the second time through that we did not notice the first time through. And then trailers. That's one that I really am excited for, is trailer reviews. We just had E3. A lot of trailers came out, a lot of stuff that
tons of stuff.
I'm getting a nerd on and then immediately losing a nerd on for a different trailer, and
we'll get to that at one point.
At some time or another. So, but yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of reviews and both excitement of stuff to come and stuff that has already come.
Or also some bitter disappointments.
Bitter disappointments. Why am I always so disappointed?
Because you're bitter. Ha!
Hey!
Quick look of what's to come. Hope you in yours enjoy what we have to offer here.
So maybe a little bit about ourselves at this point.
Sure.
What kind of things do we generally target? You want to go first? Let's go with favorite game ever.
Holy ball! Oh, okay.
Ever. Let's go with your favorite game of all time.
Well, I've always been a huge story-driven, or not just story-driven, but like RPG, very, getting into the characters, stuff like that. But when I was a kid, that stuff didn't matter whatsoever, as long as the game was fun. But to this day, my favorite video game of all time is Final Fantasy X on the PlayStation 2.
There you go.
I remember just playing the shit out of that game and playing the Blitzball side quest thing and just having so much fun with that game. I kind of want to go home and play it.
Alright. What about a modern game?
Favorite modern game.
Let's keep it to the modern consoles. something that's come out since the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One release.
Okay.
It can be for PC. It just has to have come out since those came out in the modern era.
That's kind of difficult because Final Fantasy X came out with a remaster.
Nope, that does not count. That does not count. The game itself was already out.
All right. That's a really tough one. Oh my goodness.
All right, I'm going to jump back to some of my originals.
Yeah, you do that.
I'm actually going to select 3 right off the bat.
3 favorite games?
Yeah.
Oh, High Roller.
And 2 of them are from the same company.
Developer.
Diablo 2.
Okay.
And the original StarCraft were my childhood go-to games. Loved the hell out of those games.
Okay.
Played them way too many hours. And then the first Halo, Combat Evolved, really got me into console gaming. I never really played console gaming at all.
Before that?
Before that, I'd occasionally touch like a GameCube and some Smash. If my friends were playing, maybe a little Mario Kart. But nothing...
Can't go wrong with Mario Kart.
I don't really think I ever completed a video game before I got Halo Combat Evolved. Even on the old systems, I never played games all the way through. Besides maybe Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank.
Oh,
and while
classics.
I have a love for those, Halo Combat Evolved was the kind of the linchpin that was like, yeah, this video game stuff, this is me. This is gonna be my thing for like life.
For life.
For life. So, but yeah, that was kind of my hardcore loves right there.
Okay. I still haven't thought.
You haven't thought of your modern one?
No, because we play so many.
Okay, how about
Oh, you know what? Okay, how about this? It's not even. It doesn't have to be on a console.
No.
Probably D&D. Dungeons and Dragons.
It's been out for a long time,
right?
though.
But we only recently got into it in the last 2 to 3 years.
What that is. Okay.
Yeah, so I'd say that my favorite thing to play would probably be Dungeons and Dragons, and then also video games based on that, like Divinity,
or the Divinity series,
Original Sin, and the second one that we will eventually play.
That one we'll be recording for.
Oh, absolutely.
So
that kind of pen and paper adventure type stuff.
I'm trying to remember. Did Borderlands 2 come out on the modern console originally?
No, that was
released.
That was on PS3. Well, do you count PS3?
Maybe. Do we want to count PS3? Because Borderlands 2 was my game. Borderlands, the abstract artwork was what originally actually drew me into the Borderlands series.
The stupidity of it.
Even that, before they even announced what anything of the game was, the psychoticness. Literally, the artwork drew me in. When I saw someone actually talking, the cell shading instead. I remember back in the day when the trailer wasn't even the original trailer. It was supposed to be a much more serious game, and they announced this new art style direction they were going in, and I'm like, I don't care what the game plays out like. I love this artwork. I'm gonna play it.
Right?
I made that decision on that moment. That was probably a year to 2 years before the game was even released. They had announced that they were working on this game, and they went with this cool new art style that wasn't really seen in video games. So I was like, let's play it. Let's do it.
I really like the art style too. And I'm really curious to see what they're going to do
for number 3.
Well, I mean, if they call it 3.
Oh yeah, they've already announced there's a Borderlands 3 in production.
Oh, well, then fuck.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, we've got video games. How about books?
Oh,
or series. You can select just a series.
Okay, good, because that would have been really difficult.
Torturous?
Yes, insanely. Okay, so I'll start with 3 series, one of which you got me into. But
see, now you're getting ambitious and going with 3 of them.
Oh, yeah. I did a lot of reading. Alright, so my first real favorite series, not that it's number 1, it's just one of the 3, just to clarify. The Aragon series, or or also known as the Inheritance Cycle.
It's not Saga. Oh no, there's 4 of them now, isn't there?
Well, yeah, but they just called it he just called it the Inheritance Cycle.
Okay.
Oh my god, that book series, so good. And bittersweet memories of like the last chapter in the last book, which is they're still resonating with me. I'm really just not over it.
Okay.
Fun fact: Christopher Paolini, the author, is working on a sci-fi series right now. To my knowledge,
that should be at least good.
And he's going to be coming back to the Aragon series. My second favorite series.
Oh, you're not going to give me a turn?
Nope. My second favorite series, probably one of like the most ambitious book series I've ever read, and probably my favorite series, period, is the Dresden Files.
I have not read those yet.
Oh my gosh. So the Dresden Files it consists at the moment of 15 books. And they started in the 90s. Like they're a little bit older, but they're super good. So there's a guy named Harry Dresden, and it's done in a first person kind of view. It's basically, think of Harry Potter at like 26 years old in the heart of Chicago as like an investigative detective.
So basically what Harry Potter did after he left Hogwarts and became an Auror and was like an investigator.
Yeah, but in like the
heart in Chicago.
But in the heart of Chicago. And it's so amazing. And if first book, Stormfront, don't even think about it, just read it and go.
Okay.
And then my final one is actually a book series that you got me into that I was kind of hesitant about. The Legend of Drizzt books.
Oh, the whole Legend of Drizzt.
All of it so far. And I'm not far.
You gotta pick which set of 3 then.
Which set of 3?
His origin story, dealing with the Underdark and Mushi up on the surface, or the series after that with the Crystal Shard, Halfling's Gem, and Streams of Silver. So I know you've finished both sets of those 3 already.
What, are you asking me which one
set of 3 did you prefer?
I liked
Homeland.
See, that's hard to say because I really like the build up and the literal building of Drizzt as a character. But I also liked a lot of the things that he did in the Crystal Shard and the books there that came after that. Like the combat that he saw and the
Did you know the Crystal Shard, Halfling's Gem, and Streams of Silver came out first?
Yes, I do. I know that the Homeland, Exile, and Sojourn, if I remember that order correctly, were done years later as a prequel.
Exile, Sojourn.
Oh, I'm so good. I know that they came out first, and that they were a build on the character. But I liked them both for different reasons. I liked the prequel, because it was a good build up. But I also liked the originals. Because you
get all the other main
you
characters.
You get thrust into all this amazingness. Okay,
I mean, what is it? The first couple pages, he gets basically attacked by a Yeti,
something
like right off the bat.
Yeah,
he gets screwed, and Bruner has to save his ass immediately.
Spoilers!
I spoiled the first 3 pages of the first book. Congratulations,
you fuck. Anyway, now that I'm done talking, what is your 3 favorite? I know you have a very big mix, so this will be interesting.
Mix here. I'll start with Forgotten Realms as well. But instead, I'm going to go with Starless Night because of that one scene. There's one scene where Drizzt is greeted with a flash from his past. A very far past. And it's just one of those emotional scenes where you're just... Every time I read through the series, I race to get to that book, and I read that scene probably about 7 times before I continue on with the rest of the book. And then the rest of the series is real slow progress for me. I don't read very fast through the rest of it, but I race through the series to get to that book and that scene every single time.
Okay.
Following that is the book that actually turned me into an English major. Was it'd be both Howl by Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac's On the Road.
The Beat Generation stuff. Okay.
The Beat Generation stuff, and specifically Kerouac's scroll version. There's 2 different versions of the book. The one that was originally released was, your normal book style, paragraph structure, sentence structure, all this stuff. The original, as he wrote it and wanted it published, was actually a scroll. There was no paragraphs breaks. It was one solid paragraph for about 120 feet worth of typewriter paper.
Holy
And in order to do this, he didn't like even having to reset the piece of paper on his typewriter and put a new page in. So he custom made a 120-foot long, basically taping them together just about, that would just continuously cycle through his typewriter, so he would never have to stop for a new page.
Was there also purposely made mistakes? Like he didn't stop to...
Yeah, he didn't stop. You could, in the original scroll, there are mistakes. You can see where he had to retype certain little things. And he wrote the whole thing, I think, in a week or two, while high out of his mind on Benzedrine. He drugged himself.
Forgive me for not knowing my drugs, but what is Benzedrine?
Let me get you a clinical definition of what this stuff.
Okay, so you like a lot of
it's a psychedelic.
I gathered that from the fact you said he was high. So
it's a type of amphetamine, synthetic, addictive, mood altering.
Acid.
So it's basically ADD medication. And he just used it anyway.
So basically a precursor to...
Yeah, and he just blasted himself and wrote nonstop for a week until it was done.
That's
in one
crazy.
Shot. Just, screw it, let's do this. And it was about his adventures across the U.S. and back and forth across the coast. And my entire final paper was done on that. Everything, all my classes were focused on how can I make every class, my paper, have to deal with the Beat Generation and somehow.
Okay.
We're doing Shakespeare. I want to talk about Beat Generation again somehow. I was comparing, where did they get influenced by Shakespeare? And much to this fame, probably most of my teachers, is I somehow incorporated the Beat Generation in almost every paper I ever did. In some way or another. It was fantastic.
Very nice.
And that's actually an episode I'm hoping to eventually do is... the movie with James Franco called Howl, which is about the court case surrounding Allen Ginsberg's release of the poem Howl.
Okay.
So, maybe one day down the line, we will do that one as well.
All right. And then your third choice.
My final choice... Oh, gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of it here. It's... I'm struggling between following... Feist books or something a little else. I love the Magician books. It's Magician Apprentice and Magician Master.
Okay.
It's been re-released as a single book now, so I'm going to count that as one book.
Okay. Okay.
Or
way to be.
The work of Brahm, who is an artist for D&D.
Yeah.
Who is an artist for Magic the Gathering. He has written a couple books that are really dark, really messed up, jacked up books.
Like skullfuckery.
Yeah. And one of them is called The Child Thief. It's what got me into his work, and it's a very demented, twisted version of Peter Pan. And actually, my very first ever girlfriend, we both saw this at the bookstore. We both thought it was cool. We talked about it. And unbeknownst to each other, both of us got it for the other person for Christmas. So when we're doing our gift exchange, we both open a gift from each other, and it's the exact same book given to each other. Because we were just so excited about this book. Because it just looked cool.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no joke.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, she, of course, beat me overall in the gift because hers also had a bunch of candy that I really liked wrapped and attached to the gift as well. So I only had the book. Lame ass.
You dumbass. Always include chocolate.
Right? But yeah, so
okay.
It's actually one of the books that's traveled with me the longest at this point, besides like the classic ones that my stepfather gave me.
Right on.
So that would probably be my top 3 books there as well.
All right.
Are we going to do movies real quick, or are we going to stop with our episode 0?
I think they know enough about us.
Okay.
For now.
So, yeah. That's the end of episode 0. Bink!
Thanks for tuning in.